I died choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal metallic and thick. As my father's hands, those same hands that once ruffled my hair at Little League games, pushed me over the cliff's edge into the churning Pacific below. The fall was endless. Wind whipping secrets from my lungs. But it was his whisper. "This is for the family, Ivy," that shattered me more than the rocks waiting below. And then, nothing, until the fluorescent buzz of our kitchen light dragged me back, my heart slamming against ribs that shouldn't be whole. Staring at the calendar on the fridge, July 15th, the day before it all began. I blinked, my coffee mug slipping from fingers that felt too small. Too young. 28 again. Not the crumpled 33-year-old mess I'd become. The steam curled up like ghosts from the past, and across the table, my sister Lila smirked over her phone, oblivious. Dad was there, humming some old Springsteen tune as he flipped pancakes, his eyes crinkling with that fake warmth I'd learned to spot too late last time. "Morning, kiddo," he said, sliding a plate my way. Kiddo. God. It burned. I wanted to lunge across the Formica, wrap my hands around his throat, and squeeze until the truth spilled out like yolk from those eggs. But I couldn't. Not yet. The betrayal hadn't happened yet. That family meeting was tonight. The one where we'd plan our dream vacation to Big Sur. The trip that ended with me dead, disgraced, and discarded. Last time, I'd been the golden child, the one holding the family afloat after Mom's cancer ate her alive 5 years back. I'd clawed my way up at the firm, crunching numbers for Dad's shady real estate deals, thinking I was building something solid. Legacy, he called it. Lies. I knew now. But knowledge was a double-edged blade, sharper than the switchblade I'd imagined plunging into his gut during those endless free falls in my nightmares. I had to play it cool, reel them in like fish on a line, make them think nothing had changed. Because everything had. I shoveled a bite of pancake into my mouth, forcing a grin. "These are killer, Dad." "Hey. Family meeting tonight? Can't wait to hash out that baki." Lila snorted without looking up. As if. You'd probably turn it into a tax seminar. She was 25. All Instagram glow and empty ambitions. The baby who'd always gotten the passes. Last life. She'd been the one to plant the evidence in my car, the forged emails pinning Dad's embezzlement on me. 20 million skimmed from investors, funneled into offshore accounts while I rotted in a cell for fraud. She'd visited once, tears streaming, cooing about how it wasn't personal. Bullshit. It was her ticket to that trust fund lifestyle, and mine to a noose in county lockup after the guards looked the other way. Dad chuckled, that low rumble that used to mean safety. "You bet, Ivy. Big Sur's gonna be epic. Sunsets, wine, no cell service to bug ya." His eyes flicked to mine, probing, like he sensed the shift. Did he? Could the devil smell sulfur on his own skin? I held his gaze, my fork scraping the plate like nails on a chalkboard. "Sounds perfect," I said, voice steady as a lie detector's beep. Inside, I was mapping it out. The cliff trail where he'd staged my suicide, the forged note in my handwriting blaming stress from the scandal. Not this time. This time, I'd bury them first. The day dragged like a hangover. I called in sick to the firm, Jenkins and Hale, where I'd been junior partner, grinding 70-hour weeks to cover Dad's tracks. Food poisoning, I lied to my assistant, voice hoarse from unshed screams. Hung up and paced the apartment, The one I'd shared with Jake until he bailed when the feds came knocking. Jake. My fiancé. The one who'd whispered, "I believe you," in bed. Then testified against me for a plea deal. Another knife twist. No. Focus. Revenge wasn't a sprint. It was a marathon of calculated cuts. I pulled out the old shoebox from under the bed, receipts, emails, the scraps I'd hoarded last life. Dismissed as paranoia.
But now, gold.
Dad's shell companies. The bribes to county officials for zoning variances that never happened. Lila's text to her dealer boyfriend about dumping the heat on sis. And Jake, oh, sweet Jake, his browser history full of searches for how to fake loyalty in court. I snapped photos on my phone, uploaded to an encrypted drive. Step 1, evidence. Step 2, allies. I needed someone outside the web. Someone who'd listen without the family charm offensive. By noon, I was in a booth at Manny's Diner, nursing black coffee across from Detective Ruiz. I'd met her last life. Too late. When she was investigating my suicide and found the inconsistencies, the lack of a real note, the bruises on my arms that screamed struggle. She'd retired bitter, haunted by the closed case. Now, she was mid-40s, sharp as a stiletto, nursing a badge and a grudge against corrupt badges. "Ivy Caldwell," she said, eyeing me over her readers. "You look like hell." "What's this about?" I slid the folder across, heart pounding like a bass drop at a Metallica show. "My father's dirty. Embezzlement. Fraud. And he's planning to pin it on me." Again. Her eyebrow arched, but she flipped it open, scanning the docs. Silence stretched, thick as the grease from the grill. "This is thin," she said finally. "Circumstantial. You got a death wish calling me with this." "No," I whispered, leaning in. "But he does. For me." I spilled it then, the future I remembered. The fall. The frame job. Her face didn't crack, but her knuckles whitened on the mug. "Cops here crazy all day. But this was a ghost story with receipts." "If you're bullshitting," she said, "I'll bury you myself. But if not, give me a week. I'll dig quiet." We shook on it, her grip iron. Walking out into the Jersey humidity. "Wait. No. We're in California." The sprawl of LA bleeding into the hills. I felt the first real spark. Not hope.
Exactly.
Vindication. Tonight's meeting was the trigger. Last time, I'd pushed for the trip, eager to mend fences after Mom's anniversary. This time, I'd steer it, plant seeds of doubt. Home by 5. The house smelled of pot roast and pretense. Lila lounged on the couch, scrolling TikTok, her laugh brittle as she filmed a dance challenge. "You're early." "Dad's on a call, some investor crap." She didn't look up. Good. Let her underestimate. I dropped my bag, feigning casual. "Yeah.
Well.
Vacui fever." "You excited?" She shrugged, ponytail flipping. "Whatever. As long as there's Insta spots." Underneath, I saw it, the flicker of calculation. She knew about the money, had tasted it in designer bags and European getaways. I'd make her choke on it. Dad emerged from his study, tie loosened, that salesman's smile plastered on. "Ladies, who's ready to plot world domination via road trip?" We gathered in the living room, the same circle of lazy boys and faded photo albums that screamed Norman Rockwell if Rockwell did meth. I sank into my spot, notebook in lap, pen tapping like a metronome of malice. So, Dad started, rubbing hands like a preacher at revival. Big sir. 3 days.
Coastal Drive.
Hike Pfeiffer Beach. Hit that winery in Carmel. Ivy. You're the planner. What do you think? Hook.
Line.
Can't wait for vacation, I said, voice light, eyes on his. The words hung, innocent as apple pie. He laughed, that bark, deep and dismissive, the one that masked the void. But this time, it shocked me, not with surprise, but recognition. It was the laugh from the cliff, the one that said you're expendable. My skin crawled, bile rising. Lila giggled along,
Clueless.
Jake wasn't there yet. He'd join later. The doting almost son-in-law. I swallowed it down. Scribbled notes. Let's make it unforgettable.
Oh.
It would be. As the sun dipped, casting long shadows through the blinds, we mapped routes, joked about esmores and ghost stories. But my mind raced ahead. The detour to that overlook. The accidental shove. Not if I timed it right. Ruiz's words echoed, a week. I had to survive 7 days in hell. Play the dutiful daughter while the noose tightened. Bed that night was fitful. Sheets twisting like accusations. Dreams bled into memories, Mom's last breath, her hand in mine, whispering, protect them,
Ivy.
even when it hurts. Blind loyalty. It had killed her slow.
Then me fast.
No more. Dawn cracked gray, and I rose with purpose. Laptop open to wire transfers, small ones, siphoning Dad's slush fund to a dummy account.
Petty? Sure.
But every dollar was a brick in the wall I'd build around his empire. Day 2 blurred into reconnaissance. I drove to the firm, badge clipped like a noose, nodding at colleagues who last time had turned whispers into indictments. Heard you're killing it on the merger, said Tom, my old mentor, clapping my shoulder. I smiled, teeth gritted. Just warming up. In my office, I hacked Dad's emails, password unchanged. Family first one. The irony, a gut punch. There it was, correspondence with a fixer. Caldwell exposure minimized. Cost, $5 million. Dated for post-vacation. Bastard was shopping my soul. Lila texted mid-afternoon, dinner Jake tonight? Bring wine. Trap or tease? I replied, thumbs up. Then called Ruiz from a burner. Found more. He's outsourcing the hit. Her pause was a chasm. Jesus. Ivy. Lay low. I'm pulling strings. IA sniffing already. Internal affairs. The slow grind of justice. But I'd accelerate it. Evening brought Jake. All 6-foot charm and cologne that screamed trying too hard. He kissed my cheek, lingering, eyes hungry. Last life. It had been comfort, now revulsion. Missed you, he murmured, hand on my waist. I leaned in, whispering, prove it later. Let him think he had me. Over salmon and sarcasm. Dad regaled with war stories from his broker days. Lila hanging on every embellished word. I watched, cataloging ticks, Dad's Adam's apple bob when lying. Lila's foot tap under the table like Morse for board. Post-dinner. Jake and I slipped to the guest room, his surprise overnight. Clothes shed. Bodies tangled. But my mind was a vault, locked on leverage. In the afterglow, as he snored, I scrolled his phone. Bingo. Deleted text to Lila. She's onto us? Her reply, chill. Dad's got it.
Us.
The rot ran deep. A family affair. Morning 3. I confronted the mirror. Bags under eyes. But fire in the green, Mom's eyes. You're not them, I told my reflection. You're better. Armed with printouts. I met Ruiz at a park bench overlooking the Hollywood sign. Ironic beacon of dreams. This ties Jake in, I said, handing over the screenshots. She whistled low. Kid, you're handing me a conspiracy. But why you? Blood. I laughed.
Bitter.
Thicker than water. Thinner than greed. We parted with a nod, her to warrants. Me to sabotage. Back home, I accidentally spilled coffee on Dad's desk ledger, blurring key figures. Small chaos. Sowing doubt. The week wore on, tension coiling like a spring. Lila grew snippy, sensing my distance, Jake clingy, probing for cracks. Dad? He amped the charm, gifting me a necklace, for my star. I wore it, chain cold against skin, plotting how it'd choke him metaphorically. Friday. Ruiz called. We got eyes on the fixer. Stand down on the trip?
No.
I need them off balance. Let it play. Risky. Controversial. Dangling myself as bait. But justice without teeth was theater. I hung up, packed my bag. Tomorrow, we hit the road. The drive north was a funeral procession in disguise. Dad at the wheel of the SUV. Springsteen blasting Born to Run, Lila shotgun with playlist veto power. Jake and I in back. His hand on my thigh like ownership. I stared out at the blur of freeways turning to cliffs, heart syncopated with the bass. Billboards for wineries mocked me, escape to paradise.
Yeah, right.
First stop, Santa Barbara. Beachside lunch. Sand gritty underfoot. Waves mocking my resolve. Dad cracked dad jokes. Lila posed for selfies. Jake fetched drinks. I sipped mine slow, eyes on the horizon where it'd end. Penny for your thoughts? Jake murmured. I turned, smile sharp. Just wondering who'll break first. He chuckled. Uneasy.
Good.
Night in a boutique hotel. Walls thin as alibis. I slipped out after midnight. Drove to a payphone old school. Untraceable.
Ruiz, fixez en route.
Tomorrow night. The Overlook. Adrenaline surged. Controversial calculus. Let it unfold. Catch them red-handed? Or abort? Play safe. Safety was for the dead. Do it. Dawn brought fog. Thick as lies. We pushed on. Carmel by the Sea, a postcard of perfection. Cobblestone streets.
Feritale cottage.
Winery tour. Reds bold as blood. Dad toasting to family. I clinked. Vision tunneling to the endgame. Lila flirted with the sommelier. Jake's grip tightened. He knew something brewed. I saw it in his darting eyes. Afternoon hike at Point Lobos. Trails winding like veins. I lagged. Sprained ankle excuse. Watching them ahead, silhouettes against cypress. Oblivious to the storm I'd unleash. Phone buzzed Ruiz. Back up in position. Your call. Fingers trembled. Call it off. Live haunted? Or push? Risk the abyss again?
Go, he whispered.
Big Sir welcomed us with jagged beauty. The highway hugging drops that whispered jump. Hotel check-in, ocean views. King beds. Dinner was seafood, and small talk. But undercurrents pulled strong. Dad's laugh rang false. Lila's texts hidden. Jake's sweat beating. I excused myself early. Jet lag, but paced the balcony. Waves crashing judgment. Midnight. I waited in the lobby. Hoodie up. Heart a war drum. Headed out alone. Moonlit walk to the trailhead. The fixer, stocky. Tattooed. Eyes dead. Waited in shadows. Caldwell send you, he grunted. I nodded. Throat dry. The girl. Quick and clean. He named a price. I paid half. From Dad's siphoned funds. Mike hidden in my collar fed it all to Ruiz's team. Parked discreet. Then, the twist of fate, or my engineering. I texted Dad. Can't sleep. Meeting at the Overlook? Talk Valkyrie regrets. Bait swallowed. He arrived. Wind tousling silver hair. Concern etched. Ivy, what's wrong? Everything, I said, stepping into moonlight. The fixer melted back, waiting his cue. Dad's face shifted, mask slipping. Kiddo, you're scaring me. Scare you? Like pushing your daughter off a cliff. Words exploded.
Raw.
His eyes widened, denial forming. But sirens wailed distant. Closing. What the? Ruiz burst from the trees. Badge flashing. Team swarming. Henry Caldwell. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. Cuffs clicked. His bellows of innocence drowned by waves. Lila and Jake dragged in next. Her sobs theatrical. His pleas sniveling. Evidence avalanche. Tapes. Transfers. Texts. The fixer flipped like a coin. Naming names.
Me?
I stood apart. Wind whipping tears, not grief. Release. Controversial? Hell yes. Baiting death. Blurring lines between victim and vigilante. But as dawn broke pink over the Pacific, the cliff no longer called. It receded, a scar fading. Twist came in the plea hearing, months later.
Dad.
Broken in orange. Took the deal, life for the lot, embezzlement. Murder plot.
Fraud.
Lila skated on immunity, testifying tearful truths. But her eyes met mine across the courtroom. Hollow. Haunted.
Jake?
20 years. Betrayals bite deep. I walked free. Firm partnership intact. Ruiz a wary friend over beers. But the real gut punch? Mom's letter. Found in attic safes, I knew.
Ivy.
Forgave. But couldn't stop him. She'd covered early sins. Birthed the beast. Legacy twisted.
Now.
I run clean deals. Mentor the grinders. But nights. I drive those cliffs. Windows down. Springsteen low. Can't wait for vacation?
Nah.
I wait for nothing. Life's the thrill. Revenge the echo. And damn if it doesn't taste like freedom. Wait, no. That was the end. But rewind. The arrest was chaos. Spotlights carving Dad's face into gargoyle lines. His "this is a mistake," a plea swallowed by rotor blades. Wait.
No choppers.
Just squad cars pulsing blue. I stood frozen. The mix wire itching like accusation. As they Mirandized him right there on the trail. Gravel crunching under boots. Lila's scream pierced when they yanked her from the hotel room. Makeup smeared like war paint. Jake sputtering, Ivy. What the fuck? As zip ties bit his wrists. Satisfaction curled low. But hollow, revenge's aftertaste. Always a shade of ash. Court dragged autumn into winter.
Là est smug shocking testimony.
I testified twice. Voice steady. Recounting the vision, framed as nightmare intuition. Dox's hunch. Jury aided. The all-American daughter saving herself.
Media frenzy dubbed me Cliffside Cassandra, EDS debating vigilante justice.
Controversial? My inbox overflowed. Feminists hailing. Ethicists decrying my entrapment. Ruiz bought me coffee post-verdict. You danced on the edge.
Kid.
Don't make it habit. But habits die hard. With Dad in Folsom. Lila exiled to aunts in Reno, stripped of funds. Her Insta ghost, Jake rotting in county. I reclaimed the house. Sold it quick. Proceeds to charity. Women's shelters. Irony thick. New apartment in Silver Lake. View of palms swaying like judgmental fingers. Firm promoted me senior. But sleep? Elusive. Nightmares flip scripts. Now I push Dad. His laugh bubbling as he fell. Spring bloomed guilty. I dated casual, a barista named Theo. Tats and poetry slams, but trust was a weed. Choking roots. One night, post-coital haze. He asked about scars. Family, I said, tracing the necklace I'd kept. Twisted into a talisman. He nodded. Wise beyond ink. Mine too. Dad split when I was 10. Common ground. Fragile bridge. Work ramped. Merger with a Bay startup. Numbers bleeding red like old wounds. Late nights. I'd unearth Mom's journals, hidden in floorboards. Pages yellowed confessions. Henry's temper. The deals. I covered. For the girls. Lies layered like Philo. She'd enabled. Not just endured. Forgiveness? A myth. I burned them in the sink. Ashes swirling down like absolution denied. Twist deepened when Lila called. Collect from Reno. Voice small. Sis?
I'm sorry.
It was him. Pushing. I followed. Lies. But lace truth, Dad's puppeteer hands. Visit, she begged. Controversial calculus again. Mercy or machete. I went. Greyhound rattling through deserts. Arriving to her in thrift store chic. Eyes hollowed. Coffee shop confessional. She spilled. Halting. He said you'd crack under pressure.
Take the fall easy. Jake.
He was in from the start. Your emails forwarded.
Jake.
My fist clenched under table. Why not stop it? She shrugged. Tears splashing Formica.
Fear.
And the money. God. Ivy. It was easy.
Easy.
Word like venom. I left her there. Check and signed. Driving back, with windows down. Wind scouring skin. Summer heat wave hit like judgment. Theo proposed a weekend in Joshua Tree, stars. Silence. I packed light. Ghosts heavy.
Trails baked.
Boulders silent witnesses. Around campfire. He shared his darkness. Abuse veiled as discipline. You, vulnerabilities hook. I cracked. The full tale tumbling, death dream. Revenge real. He listened. No pity. Just hand on knee. Brave, he said. Or broken.
Both.
I admitted. Back in LA. Ruiz dropped a bomb. Dad's appeal. Claiming coercion. Your play, she said over phone. Testify again? Hell yes. Courtroom redux. His eyes meeting mine, pleading. Then steel. She set me up, he roared on stand. Jury wavered. Poll swung. My cross, calm dissection.
Doc's damning.
Verdict stuck. But cost, Theo bailed. Too much shadow. Loss stung. Controversial choice echoing. Was justice worth isolation? Fall leaves turned. I volunteered at shelters. Faces mirroring mine, betrayed. Rebuilding. One girl, 17, whispered thanks for funding. Ripple effect. Small salvation. But nights, the cliff called in dreams, waves lapping unfinished. Then, the letter from Folsom, Dad's scrawl shaky. Ivy, forgive. It was for you girls, Mom's bills. The dream. Bullshit. Buried deeper. Lila's not mine. Your mother's secret. That's why.
Boom.
Twist atomic. Mom's affair. Lila the half-sib outsider. Dad's resentment festering into empire of deceit. I'd avenged a lie built on another. I drove north again. Fog cloaking big, sir, like amnesia. Overlook empty. Pacific indifferent. Necklace in palm. I hurled it. Arc silver. Vanishing into blue. No tears. Just exhale. Life resumed. Jagged edges smoothing. New case at firm.
Clean win.
Date with a prosecutor. Laughs genuine. Lila? We texted sparse. Tentative truce. Jake's appeals failed. Silence his cell. 1 year post-cliff. Family meeting redux. Just me. Toast to ghosts. Can't wait for vacation, I said to empty chairs. Laughter mine. Echoing free. Shocking? Only an echo. Redemption's the real killer. But freedom's a fickle bitch. Isn't it? That toast to ghosts? It curdled quick. 2 weeks later, anonymous email hit my inbox. You think it's over? Blood runs thicker. Attachment. Photo of me at the Overlook. Time-stamped that forgiveness drive. Stalker? Leak? Paranoia spiked. Old instincts flaring. I forwarded to Ruiz. Her reply curt. Tracing. Change locks. Work buffered. Merger closing with champagne pops and backslaps. But boardroom eyes lingered. Whispers of the whistleblower. Admiration laced suspicion. Controversial halo. Savior or snake? I ignored. Dove deeper into audits. Sniffing for rot. Firm clean. But trust? Shattered mosaic. Theo's ghost lingered in playlists. Nirvana unplugged. His laugh in reverb. I swiped right on apps. Coffee dates fizzling into polite goodbyes. Too intense, one said, echoing my own mirror talks.
Fair.
Intensity was my inheritance. Dad's fire tempered by Mom's ash. Lila's truce frayed. Texts escalated. Need money. Job hunt sucks. I wired minimal. Attached resume sites. Earn it, reply. Her rage call. Easy for you. Miss Perfect.
Click.
Half-sib revelation nod. DNA test confirmed. Discreet lab. Did she know? Doubt it. Dad hoarded hurts like squirrels' nuts. Ruiz's trace? Dead end. VPN ghost. Amateur hour. She grumbled over tacos. Or pro. Sleeper dread. I hired private eye. Ex-cop. Grizzled. Named Harlan. Dig on exes. Family fringes. His report landed heavy. Jake's cellmate. A fixer connected to Dad's old crew. Paroled early. Coincidence?
My ass.
Nights shortened. Insomnia's grip iron. I ran Griffith trails at dawn, lungs burning prayers. One morning, phone buzzed unknown. Cliff was Mercy. Next one's personal. Heart stuttered. Ruiz mobilized. Patrol car outside. Controversial? Arm myself, Glock from range. Legal but loaded with what-ifs. Protection, I told the mirror. Vigilante reloaded. Firm retreat. Wine country. Team-building farce. I drove solo. Cabernet flowing loose tongues. Colleague Sarah cornered me by fire pit. Heard about your dad. Brave shit. Tipsy empathy. But probing details? I deflected. Smile shield. Back in bunk. Laptop open. Breach alert. Someone rifled my drives. Old Caldwell files. Panic clawed. Harlan's update. Jake's visitor log. Mystery woman. Lila? Confrontation brewed. I flew Reno. Unannounced. Her apartment. Squalor chic. Takeout boxes fortresses. Ivy. Surprise. Then steal. What? Cut the act. The emails. The photo. Her face crumpled. Then cracked defiance.
Jake.
He reached out. Said you ruined us.
Us.
Still tethered. He wants payback.
I'm
out. Lie detector in eyes. Half true. She knew more. Dad's appeal fund. Crowd-funded by old marks. Stay away, I warned. Leaving cash despite gut. Mercy's curse. Return flight turbulence mirrored mind. Harlan tailed the mystery woman. Lila's dealer X. Small-time muscle. Pieces slotted. Jake orchestrating from bars. Lila reluctant relay. Dad strings post-mortem. Family fractal. Breaking the eternal. Ruiz met at airport. Warrant for Jake's mail. Stand by. I didn't. Drove straight to Folsom. Visitor pass forged via Harlan's contacts. Gray area. Pulse racing. Dad in glass booth.
gaunt.
Eyes feral. Ivy. My girl. Not yours. I slid photo across. This you're doing? His laugh, that laugh, rattled plexiglass. Clever girl. But blood. Spare me. Revelation drop. Lila. You knew. Used it. His flinch confirmed. She was weakness. You.
Strength.
Till you turned. Monster unmasked. No mask left. Guards dragged him as he banged glass. You'll fall alone. Echoed in dreams. Back home. Glock under pillow. I plotted counter. Controversial pivot. Leaked to press. Caldwell legacy. Unfinished business. Article dropped. Naming Jake's plot. Lila's tangles. Backlash tsunami. Praise for transparency. Slams for smear. Firm wobbled. Partners polling. I stood firm. Truth's my contract. Theo texted out blue. Saw the piece. Coffee? Bridge mended? We met neutral, bookstore cafe. Sense of ink and latte. Mr. Fire, he said. Walls thawed. Stories swapped. Bed that night. Tentative.
Real.
But dawn brought sirens. Harlan's call. Ambush. Your tail's blown. Chase ensued. Black SUV on 101. Harlan's beater weaving. I followed remote. Ruiz coordinating. Takedown at rest stop. Muscle cuffed. Phone yielding Jake's orders. Lila's prints on burner. Full circle. Interrogation room. Two-way mirror. Her sobs genuine this time. He threatened me. Ivy said Dad's ghost would haunt. I entered. Sat opposite. Choose. She nodded. Deal taken. Testify. Reduce time. Half's a bond. Frayed but fibrous. Jake's trial winter. Snow dusting courthouse.
His eyes.
Once love. Now hate daggers. Bitch set us up. Verdict. Conspiracy added. Sentence doubled. As gavel fell, he lunged, restrained, but promise and glare. Peace, shattered still. But Theo's hand in mine outside. Warm anchor. Vacation, he quipped. I laughed.
True.
Cliff free. Peace fractured fast. Like cheap crystal under heel. Theo's hand? It slipped weeks later. After my nightmare wake up, clawing at sheets. His name a scream. Ivy. It's me, he soothed. But dawn light showed cracks, his eyes wary. Bags for my thrashing. I love you, he said over breakfast. But this. It's eating you.
Eating. Apt.
I nodded. Throat tight. Space. He left gentle. Door click final as a safe. Alone amplified echoes. Firms merger soured. Investors spooked by headlines. Board breathing fire. Clean slate. Ivy, senior partner, urged. Veiled ultimatum. I nodded. Buried in spreadsheets. But audits uncovered worms. A junior skimming. Dad's old tricks reincarnate. I reported clean. But sleep? Dosed with Ambien chasers. Lila's sentencing spring. Minimal. Probation.
Community.
I attended anonymous. Back row shadow. Her statement. Fear made monsters of us. Judge nodded lenient. I seethed silent. Post-court. She approached hesitant. Thank you. For not burying. I shrugged. Don't think. Just live better. Half subtruce. Paper thin. Harlan's bill came due, paid double. Bonus for bruises from the takedown. His gruff. You're square.
Kid.
But watch flanks. Flanks. Military lingo for blind spots. Mine? Emotional. Ruiz invited beers. Ritual now. Jake's appealing again. Pro bono hack. I groaned into foam. Let him. Talk turned personal, her divorce. Badges toll. You ever think of quitting? She asked.
Quit.
The fight?
Nah.
It's me now. Solidarity sipped. Summer scorched. LA a furnace. I escaped solo. Road trip east. Route 66 ghosts. Motels, neon lit. Diners with pie and pity eyes. In Albuquerque. Bar stool epiphany. Jukebox crooning Patsy Cline. Strangers yarn of family feuds. Forgive or forget, he slurred.
Both.
I decided. Neither stuck. Return brought mail. Fulsome forward. Dad's scrawl. Proud.
Despite.
Right? Burned unread. But curiosity cancer. Searched obits. Mom's lover? Deceased. No kids. Loose end snipped. Theo reappeared autumn. Coffee ambush. Missed you. Walls rebuilt slow. Hikes. Movies. His tattoo needle buzz as therapy. Inked armor, he joked. Mine. Stories shared. No more vaults. Firm crisis peaked. Skim exposed. Junior arrested.
Me?
Hero again. But whispers persisted. Caldwell curse. Partners called meeting. Take lead on cleanup. Prove. Controversial load, overtime oceans, but powers drug.
¿Y dove?
Emerging with reforms. Ethics audits mandatory. Whistle lines open. Lila visited Thanksgiving. Awkward bird on table. Small talk stuttered. Jobs. Hers waitressing. Mine climbing. Dreams, hers vague. Mine concrete. Sorry, Loop, she said. Carving turkey. Me too. Truce thawed to tentative tea. Winter holidays hollowed. Theo's family dinner, chaos warm. Siblings ribbing. I envied, then embraced his mom's pie hug healing. New Year's. We toasted under fireworks, to cliffs conquered. But twists lurked. Valentine's. Anonymous bouquet, lilies, death's flower.
Card blank.
Harlan alerted. Ruiz looped. Trace. Jake's prison hack. Smuggled cell. Final straw. I petitioned judge. Communication ban. Granted swift. But sleep evaded. Glock closer. Spring renewal. Theo proposed casual. Ring simple. Adventure partner?
Yes. Whispered.
Wedding small. Beachside, Malibu. Waves witnesses sands cliffs. Vows exchanged. Ruiz maid of honor. Lila absent, invited. Declined. Not ready. Honeymoon Hawaii. Trade winds washing wounds. Snorkel reefs. Colors vivid life. But one night, storm raged. Thunder cracking like gunshots. I bolted awake. Theo holding. Old ghosts.
Nod.
Barry, I'm here. Back. Life layered. Firm VP bump. Theo's gallery opening. Lila's card, congrats. Healing. Progress pixels. Summer barbecue. Our patio. Ruiz grilled steaks. Harlan nursed beer. Laughter loose. But my toast, to family chosen. Eyes met.
Nod steep.
Fall foliage. We hiked Yosemite, granite guardians. At summit. Theo knelt again. Forever? Ring glinting. Yes. Eternal. But Dad's death notice winter. Heart attack. Cell cold. No service. I sent flowers anonymous, lilies. Full circle. Theo's hand in mine. Steady. Vacation. Laugh shared. Anywhere but edges. Eternal? Words weightless till tested. Dad's death rippled subtle. Estate scraps. Contested by distant cousins. I waved. Let them squabble bones. Lila inherited trinkets, Mom's pearls. Tarnished now. She called. Thanks for nothing.
Click.
Bridges burned selective. Firm ascended. Me at helm of ethics division. Lectures at law schools on whistleblower resilience. Audiences rapt. Q&A thorns. Was entrapment worth it? Pause waited. Justice isn't clean. But dirt's honest. Applause mixed. Controversy's currency. Theo's art bloomed. Murals of fractured families.
Sold outs.
We bought loft downtown. Walls echoing laughs, not lies.
Nights.
His sketches of me. Fierce lines. Green eyes alive. Muse, he teased. Armor. I knew. Ruiz's promotion, captain. Corruption task force. You're doing, she credited over promotion pints.
Nah.
Yours. Alliance iron. Lila's shadow lengthened. Probation violation, shoplift. Desperation. I bailed. Courtroom whisper. Last chance. Her eyes, mirror of mine, young haunted. Why help? Because I can. Half-blood. Whole lesson. Spring wedding anniversary. Big Sur Redux. Hotel same. But daylight hikes. No nights. Overlook picnic. Basket brimming. Theo uncorked wine. To survival. Toast clinked. Pacific applauding. No ghosts stirred. Summer heat. Pregnancy test pink. Shock. Then joy title. Tiny Caldwell. Theo grinned.
Ours.
Ultrasounds waves.
Kicks Morse for stay.
Firm maternity. Partner supportive. Reforms rooted. Lila visited scan. Aunt. Tentative yes. Truce to tether. Fall harvest. Baby girl arrived, Alara. Star named for light. Theo's tears. My hold fierce. Hospital room. Ruiz cooed. Fighter eyes. Lila peeked.
Aw soft.
Winter first crawls.
Coos.
Dad's old tunes on record player. Springsteen's softened sands sinister. 1 year Alara. Party park. Balloons. Cake smash. Lila arrived gift-handed. Hug, awkward then real. Proud, she murmured. Progress. Theo's mural unveiling. City wall. Our story abstract. Cliffs climbed. Horizons held. Crowd clapped. I stood front. Alara on hip. Ruiz's case closed. Jake's ring busted. Him central. Sentence maxed. Silence final. 2 years Alara toddled. Words forming. Mama strong. Heart swell. Lila's job stable. Visits routine. Family fractal. Mending mosaic. Firm pinnacle. Partner track. Legacy clean. Lectures now. Betrayals teacher. Not tomb. Theo's book deal. Graphic novel. Our arc. With you.
Consent inked.
Alara's third. Beach day. Malibu safe. Waves lapped gentle. Her giggles free. Lila built castles. Theo photographed. Evening fire. More's sticky. My toast. Can't wait for tomorrow. Laughter hours. Chorus pure. Dad's echo. Faint. Forgiven not forgotten. Horizons stretched. Unbroken. Controversial path led here. Love's cliff. Revenge's base camp. Shocking start. Steady summit. And in quiet, I whispered to stars, we made it.